learned from all sorts of African Americans my whole life, but it doesn't mean that I have the authority to say that I'm gonna teach people the African culture. It's impossible for me to rightfully do something like that, and that's what's happening with, you know, the Chinese martial arts, and not just the Chinese martial arts, but the martial arts from the East. You got all sorts of non-Chinese people claiming authority and leadership and you know, under these teachings. You know, a bunch of non-Chinese people trying to teach the Chinese arts, the Japanese arts, the Thai arts, the Filipino arts. You know, and that's not right. You know, boxing's been around for a very long time, but only recently did Pacquiao, you know, become the single and only Filipino person to represent a high level in boxing, and that's a big deal. And just because he's from the Philippines, it makes the world of a difference. He's not just another African American, you know, because that's been successful in boxing. There's a lot of African Americans successful in boxing. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, Evander Holyfield. There's a lot of Hispanic boxers that are very successful. Oscar De La Hoya and Trinidad, and you know, all these Hispanic boxers, but only one Filipino boxer in all these years. It makes all the difference for that country, for the people. So you can't say, oh, you know, this person's Mexican, he looks like he's Filipino, so he's representing the Filipino people. No, he's not. He's from Mexico. So you need to identify these things properly. It's not right for non-Chinese people to claim authority of the Chinese martial arts. It is not right. You know, so if you want to learn the Chinese martial arts and there is no Chinese people around to learn from, then find a Chinese person that's teaching on YouTube, or go to Bruce Lee's books, learn from his books, because he's Chinese. There's a bunch of movies from Bruce Lee, or not Bruce Lee, from Jet Li. There's a bunch of movies from Jackie Chan. They're both Chinese. There's movies from Donnie Yen, he's Chinese. There's movies from, you know, a lot of Chinese people out there are making martial art movies. So watch those movies and learn from the movies. Travel to China and learn from the Chinese people over there. Go to Chinatown and try to find somebody in Chinatown that's Chinese that's teaching. Like, find a Chinese person to learn from, and then you're learning from the culture. You know, and that's the way that it's supposed to be done. You know, and you know, that's the way that I see it. You know, and I just want people to think about it. You know, just think about it. You know, because where the thing that's aggravating is where is the positive Chinese influence in mass media in America? Where is it? You know, with this trade war going on between China and America, you know, with Trump imposing all these tariffs and all this other stuff, it seems that American government doesn't want Americans to be too heavily positively influenced by Chinese people. They kind of want to diminish the, you know, the accomplishments of the Chinese people. So you don't see Chinese or Chinese Americans in mass media that are in America, an American mass media, that are positively, on a positive light. You don't see Chinese Americans or even Chinese people in Hollywood, in the music industry. You don't see them in professional sports like basketball, baseball, football, boxing. You don't see them. And there's really not that many opportunities to learn from a Chinese person in America. And one of the very few things that we can hold on to is the martial arts and Gung Fu. And then non-Chinese people are attempting to take that away from them. So then they have like really almost nothing left where they can be respected as an authority. It's like constantly, purposefully putting the Chinese people below those who are non-Chinese, not allowing the Chinese person the opportunity to be a leader. Putting in a company of in a successful company, not putting the Chinese person as a CEO, but putting them as a janitor, or the maintenance worker, or the secretary, or the doorman. That's what's going on. And a Chinese person that is very good at Gung Fu deserves to be a leader of an inspiration for the people within the expression of the Chinese martial arts or Gung Fu or arts. Allow the Chinese person to teach the Chinese language class. Allow the Chinese person to teach the class in acupuncture, and allow the Chinese person to teach the class in Chinese massage. Allow the Chinese to teach the class in how to cook great Chinese food. Allow the Chinese person to teach about the way of Tao. Allow the Chinese person to teach the Chinese martial arts. Don't take the leadership positions away from Chinese people, especially when they have so very few leadership positions available in this country. I mean, it's almost like in America, Chinese people are becoming more extinct than any other race out there. There might be over 1 billion Chinese people in China, but in America, there are barely any Chinese people. It's almost like foreign to ever even bump into a Chinese person. That's how rare it is to encounter a Chinese person in America. And I think that maybe it has been purposely engineered to be this way because the American government may feel threatened by the power of China, so they want to severely diminish the accomplishments of any Chinese people in America, and pretty much put them as subservients. So then the psychology of Americans will always view Chinese people as below their authority, below their level of skill and talent. And I feel that's what's going on. And I feel that even in soccer, it's going on. Soccer is so popular all over the world, but why isn't it that popular in America? Is it because Americans are just not good at soccer and they're only good at football and basketball and boxing, and that's why it's so popular. That's why basketball, football, and boxing is popular in America, because those are the sports that they're good at. But the sports that they're not good at, they don't want to promote because they don't want to be seen as inferior. You know, cycling right now, Tour de France is very popular, but cycling is not popular in America. I wonder why. Because they never win, so they don't want other countries to view them as inferior, so they don't want anybody to even care about those sports. You know, and I feel that that's what's happening to the Chinese people. You know, and you know, being a Chinese American, this is how I feel about it. You know, and it's not meant to make people feel angry or upset, but it's just identifying some issues that I see within this culture that only somebody of my culture could truly understand. And a lot of the times they wouldn't be able to express it the way that I am, because they might not even know the English language good enough to even be able to even express these ideas that I'm expressing. Or they might not even have the intelligence to understand what's even going on. Or they just might be just thankful that they're in America and they're not in China, which is overcrowded and full of pollution and just low-paying jobs, and they're just thankful to be here. So they don't care if they're disrespected. They don't care if people don't look up to them. They don't care if people don't want to learn from them. They don't care if, you know, they don't care about the things that I'm talking about. They don't care if their arts are being corrupted. All they care about is they're not living in China. They're living in America. They're living a lot better life than they would be living if they were in China. So there's really nothing for them to complain about. But for me, you know, essentially, I'm considered American because I was born here, but my parents are from China. They were born there, and that's part of my roots. That's part of my history, and it can't be denied. I can't go around telling people that I'm black. I can't go around telling people that I'm, you know, Hispanic. I can't go around telling people something, you know, somebody telling people things that I'm not. I can't run from who I am. All I can do is be myself, learn about my culture, about my history, be proud of who I am, and just stand up for myself, for my people, for truth. And you know, that's important, because it's just really sad. Why do I always have to mention Bruce Lee over and over and over again? It's sad that there's not any other influences out there that are positive that I could reference that's a Chinese person. You know, the only Chinese people in the NBA history that's people even might know their name: Yao Ming, Jeremy Lin. That's it. Not even one Chinese boxer that I could mention. Not one Chinese football player. And even Tiger Woods is half black and half Chinese, but nobody mentions anything about the Chineseness of him. They always just say that he's black. There's not one Chinese rap. Well, the Chinese rapper is Jin, but nobody knows about him anymore. You know, where are the Chinese influences? And there are none. There's no one for me to reference, and that's sad. I think that's very sad, and that's why I'm talking about the importance of the people out there to allow Chinese people to teach their arts. Encourage them to teach. Encourage them to share. And learn. And for once in your life, respect a Chinese person as an authority. And not look at a Chinese person as someone below yourself, subservient to you. You know, and I think Chinese people are so used to being put in that position that they never speak up for themselves. You know, and it's sad. But there's a lot that can be learned from the Chinese culture and its people, and I keep studying, I keep learning, and not only the Chinese people, but I love the Indian culture. I love Zen, you know, the Japanese expression of meditation. There's a lot of things from the East that is very beautiful, and we need to allow these people from the East, allow them the opportunity to take these leadership roles so we can learn, truly learn from them. Not just pretend to learn, just waiting for our opportunity to overtake their authority in which to claim ourselves to be masters of arts of which is no part of our history. You know, so, you know, these things I challenge the people out there to think about it, and just to learn. So, 50-minute video. Told you it's gonna be long, and just remember there's a lot of other videos you could click on. You don't have to watch this one. These are for the people that want to challenge their mind, to go beyond the mind, and gain a greater understanding of themselves, the world around them, and develop wisdom, that inner wisdom. Thank you if you have actually made it through the whole video. You know, this is some very important things that could really help you in life. But I'm thankful to be here. I really am. And I'm thankful for all the support. And I know for a fact that most of my audience, mostly everybody's going to be non-Chinese. So I'm not trying to offend anybody in any way. I'm not here for that. And I really appreciate everybody's support. And I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for you. And, you know, I just think that there's a lot on my shoulders because there's just not that many Chinese people out there speaking up or taking roles of which they could have an influence over the people, positive influence over the people. And I just have to keep learning. I have to keep growing, so then so that I can be in a better position to teach, you know, because I don't want to guide people down the wrong path. I want to do my best to guide people towards the right path, to make them gain a greater understanding and to develop themselves to be better people, you know. And I encourage the people to look into their own history, their own cultures, and to represent it with pride, you know, because these different cultures is what makes America beautiful. The fact that we have Chinatowns and India towns and Greek towns and Thai towns and Vietnamese towns and Japanese towns, and there's beauty in every single culture, and I recognize that and I appreciate that. So thank you once again for paying attention. If you did, you didn't fall asleep yet, and maybe I'll make some more videos again in the future when I get some time. Thank you.